Hey, what's up? In this video, I'm going to tell you the strategy that I use to build up my agency completely from scratch, $0 to over $2 million book of business in 3 years. These are some tips and the actual strategies that I used that I would, if I were to do it all over again, I would make sure that I followed and continue to use that strategy, or I would implement some of these things that I'm going to suggest here. So let's dive into it. So first things first, when I first decided to do this, I was 21 years old, straight out of college, and I decided I was going to 100% commit to starting this agency. I had zero backup plan. There was no plan B. There was no, oh, I might just go take a corporate job or something like that. I was 1000% set on doing that. I believe that if you are looking to shoot for the stars or do something big or something that's really worthwhile, you have to risk it a bit and gamble a bit. At the time, I was 21, 22. I was like, hey man, if I'm ever gonna mess this up, it's when I'm 21 years old. Let's run it. Let's go after it. Let's do this thing. So had about $5,000-$10,000 to my name. I was pretty broke at the time, and I just said, let's put it all in. Let's go for it. If we mess this thing up, it is what it is. I might be a little embarrassed for a minute, but it's fine. Let's go after it. So committing 100%, don't have a plan B, and really going after it. That's key to getting and doing something that's really worthwhile. So the next thing is, when I first started the agency, I sacrificed personal time, family time. I sacrificed friendships. I stopped hanging out with certain people that weren't in line with my mission and in line with the goals that I had. There was just no time for it. I even remember there was a moment where my family was going on vacation to visit other family outside of the country, and I completely said I could not attend. They gave me a super hard time. I felt terrible about it because, family time is something you don't get back. But I knew that in that first 12, 18 months, I couldn't take a week out from the office and really from the mission and the goals that I was trying to accomplish. It just wasn't conducive with what I was really trying to accomplish. So I had to respectfully decline that. And even stuff with like friendships, like family, like girlfriends, they were trying to get me to go to concerts, stuff like that. They were like 20, 30 bucks. I totally could have gone. Looking back at it now, I'm like, totally could have gone. But it was just a mindset. It was a pure 100% tunnel vision commitment. So sacrificing those things early on, and it doesn't have to be forever. Like, don't be extreme with it. Have a balance, but early on, it is very important to be committed. So there's no time for relaxing, vacations, partying. You need to be sharp as a tack, because those early years or early months are extremely important for the speed and long-term momentum of the business. Next thing I did is I got myself an office. Straight out of the chute, I didn't want to be some solopreneur working out of my bedroom, popping up with my hair all messed up. I got sharp. I used to wear fine, nice clothes every single day. I would clean myself up, comb my hair. I would pop into the office. I had 0 employees. I had no one to even see, but I would show up dressed, sharp as a tack, popping in the office, making calls. It was more of an energy. It was more of a vibe. So looking sharp and feeling good is an extremely important part of also business. Like, people overlook that. That's a tip that I highly recommend. Even till this day, I don't need to be dressed like this. The business is already built. There's not even any clients that come into my office. The team members that are here, they do see me every day, so I like to look sharp for the team. But it's not really needed, but it's an energy, it's a vibe, and looking sharp and playing the part is extremely important. So look good, get in your office, comb your hair. You know what I mean? That's my tip on that one. The next thing is that I reinvested every single penny of the money and revenue that was generated by the business for the first 18 months. So you can expect that for the first 18 months, you're not going to pay yourself at all. That was something that was a bit of a shock for me. I had a feeling that was going to be the case. At the same time, I was 21, 22, where I didn't need to pay myself. I had very low, baggage. I didn't have anybody dependent on me, and really didn't have too much rent. The other stuff was just pretty minimal. So depending on where you're at, that's something you really need to take into consideration, like if that's even feasible for you and your family. So that was something that I did for the first 18 months. Every single dollar was put back into the business, whether it was in systems and softwares that we needed, whether it was even buying a light for the cameras to put more videos out, whether it was to get business cards, logos, running ads, referral partnerships, sending people little Starbucks gift cards. That's something we're still doing to this day that was really, really fruitful to build up new referral partnerships, buying dinners for potential customers or referral partners, those little things that do add up, reinvesting into the business. 18 months, absolutely not $1 was drawn out for personal reasons. Obviously, everything's a business expense, so meals, all that stuff is used as a business expense. So talk to a CPA. I'm not a CPA. So next thing I did was I started to hire employees and delegate, build a team and delegate the work that was not maximum revenue generating activity that I could be doing. So at the time, early on especially, I knew that there was no one else that was going to go after big fish clients that were going to bring in a ton of revenue for the business. So I knew I had to get the administrative things off my plate. So the first thing I did was I hired somebody to take on the marketing and the administrative little service tasks off my plate, answer the phones, the little things that they could really kind of save me a few 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours a day, that could be put into other areas of sales, because I knew that I was the one that cared the most, was going to work the hardest, and was going to close those deals. So you need to audit your own skills, think about that, and see where your time is used most wisely. Possibly get yourself a VA. That's a great solution to get cheaper labor and build a team at a lower cost. So look into VAs or get yourself somebody part-time maybe that can really help get some of the stuff off your plate so you can build up the business and focus on things that are going to help generate more revenue. So the next thing I did is I just started getting uncomfortable. Videos like this were so uncomfortable for me in the first 6 to 12 months because first off, it was the first time starting a business. I was really young. Nobody believed half the stuff I was saying. Everyone thought the business was going to flop. I was over here trying to make videos that were entertaining. They were terrible. You can even look back at some of these old videos. They were so bad. And I did those things that I knew were so uncomfortable and necessary. And now, if you look at the progression of the videos and even just getting in front of people on social media, where you're putting yourself on the record and putting yourself in a position where it could be really, really embarrassing. And even now, like there was times where I look back at it and I'm like, dang, like I did that even though I knew there was like girls that I liked, and like there was just stuff that was that I knew people were watching, family members, friends of family members, and I even remember people would kind of ridicule me like, hey man, like you're making more videos than you're making sales, aren't you? Like stuff like that, comments like that were being made to me early on. And I just remember sitting there like, yeah, one day this will pay off. And I'm just going to keep my eyes on the prize, keep my tunnel vision, and I'm going to be independent of the good or the bad opinions of others. I started to get some praise. I started getting people saying like, hey, you're doing so well, like business is doing well. Still I get those, and I try not to listen to those. And I get the hate comments, and I get the people saying like, you're making all those videos, huh? How are your sales looking? And I just don't listen to either one of them. And I just stay in my own lane. So getting uncomfortable and building up that confidence and that security in yourself that you don't need to listen to these people. Being a business owner small business owner is a tricky business, a tricky task. And a lot of people don't understand what it's like to wear all the hats and to feel the full responsibility of the success or the failure. So that is actually one of the beauties of it. If you thrive in those environments where you have accountability, full 100% accountability of the success or the failure, then this might be for you. If it's not, then you should rethink and maybe give it a try, and see if it's a right fit for you. So getting uncomfortable, especially in video form, is really, really important. I think it was an essential part of my continued success of my agency. So that's that. The next thing is I started cold calling, I started door knocking, I started really just asking people on a regular basis, like literally went through, texted every contact in my phone book, to give them quotes. And I think that cold calling and door knocking is one of those things that isn't necessarily the most efficient way to make sales, but it is a necessary thing that I think everybody should do at some point in their career. It's kind of like a rite of passage, because it helps you build just thick skin. And that thick skin is necessary when you're getting beat up in the world of business on a day-to-day basis. Cold calling, getting people hanging up on you, screaming F you, leave me alone, don't ever call me again. People literally would slam the door on my face when they would see that I was holding a clipboard or whatever, trying to run them a quote for their home insurance or car insurance. I really think that built character for me. I really think that gave me extra level of confidence to overcome situations like that and to know when, how to maneuver those situations. And also, it's really difficult to tell somebody to go and make a bunch of cold calls or to go door knock if you've never actually done it yourself. So getting out there and getting bloody, as some might call it, is really important to build up that character, that thick skin, which is an extremely important skill to have as a business owner and an insurance agent. So just do that. The next thing is I started to network with bigger clients, and I also started to network with centers of influences, or COIs. So getting yourself in circles of people that have more influence and have more money is the closer you can get yourself to the money, the better. The more money you're going to make. It's really important to get yourself in those circles with real estate agents, CPAs, financial advisors, lawyers, people that have clients already that have money is essential. So getting yourself in those circles, finding networking groups locally, finding out who those people are and just calling them, trying to build relationships, buying them a cup of coffee, buying them lunch, buying them dinner, and getting in those networks and those circles. Your network is your net worth. It's a very cliche thing to say, but it is so true, and it is very accurate for my life right now. Like, I have a couple friends that are making way more money than me, and a couple friends making a little less than me. And I'm somewhere in the middle. Like, it's really true. I'm the average of the 5 closest people around me, and that's just is what it is. So keep that circle tight and audit it regularly. The next thing that I did was I practiced my sales. I got good at sales. I started listening to myself. I started to really study people that were experts in sales, like Grant Cardone, Jordan Belfort. I'm not a huge fan of Jordan Belfort, but he knows what he's talking about when it comes to tonality and this straight line method. So getting the knowledge, also reading the book, like the books that are out there, The Closer Survival Guide by Grant Cardone. I'm a huge fan of that book. That book has made me thousands and thousands of dollars. It's literally like $9.99 or $20 on Audible. So yeah, listen to it. It's a really good book. That has made me a ton of money, and really perfecting the closing instead of just the selling and presentations and getting a quote. And instead of being a quoter or a seller, you got to be a closer. Like when people are over here saying, I got to talk to my wife, I got to talk to my business partner, I got to think about it, or it's too expensive. Like these are all objections that are very common. You already know they're coming, so might as well just be ready for them. These are kind of expert tips that you can use to overcome them and increase your chances of those sales. Like it's all a game, and you got to get good at generating leads. You got to get good at closing the deals. You got to get at presenting them, all aspects of it. So closing is one of the most neglected areas of sales, like the actual close. Getting in there and getting uncomfortable. It's a very uncomfortable space, but it's a very important space to be in. The close. Learn the close, get good at it, and perfect it. Last thing, which is arguably the most important thing, is my mindset from day one. I truly believed that I would be sitting here making this video in a bigger office with a bigger team, with a large book of business, making, the revenues coming in 7 figures. I predicted this. I planned it. This is not by chance by any means. Absolutely not by chance. I had it written out. And I have it dated still, so I know for a fact. Like, that's another important thing, is writing it down to make sure you have something physical. These are all things that I completely predicted and planned, and I believed. I stayed patient. I showed up every single day, and I worked my ass off to make it happen. So some people might just see these videos or see The Office now and think, wow, what a lucky guy. He got lucky. I did get lucky in certain times, in certain places, because I truly believe also that the harder you work, the luckier you get. So I worked my ass off, and I got a couple, lucky breaks with a couple deals and customers and relationships. But I put myself in those positions to be there. I made the videos, I made the calls, I made the door knocks, I sent out the handwritten cards, I sent the messages, everything. I've done it all. So I truly believe that I deserve exactly where I'm at right now, and I could be even higher. There's times where I've gotten lazy, and I look at those and I'm not proud of those moments. And it's really, really difficult to beat. Like, there's a lot of skilled agents out there. You might look around and be like, damn, he's just good at sales, or he's just a good looking dude. Yeah, I'm sure he's good at sales. Yeah, he's a good looking dude, but it's really hard to beat somebody who's just working that much harder than you. They're coming in earlier. They're staying later. They're showing up on Saturdays. They're showing up on Sundays. Like, dude, I guarantee you that hard work will outproduce and outpace that person who's better looking or good at sales all day. Like, it's really hard to beat just pure grit, effort, discipline, and commitment to your craft and to your business. So that's basically it. Stay patient. Come in with the right positive attitude, a can-do attitude every single day. Don't be negative, down in the dumps, and always looking for the reasons why the world's against you or things aren't working out. Like, you need to keep a positive attitude, man. Stay sharp between your ears, and be patient and believe that it's all possible. That is a key to all of this, is the belief that one day you will be at $10 million, and you're on that journey right now as you speak, as you make that video, as you make that call, as you make that sale. All of those are just little stepping stones to the journey of the success. So believe it, work hard. If you can see it and believe it, you will achieve it. Another little cliche for you there, but it's true. I believe that with every ounce in my body. So that's all I got. Also, another thing you can do to supplement some of these things and efforts and activity and hard work is using tools to your disposal. We're gonna shout out Tudo. Boom! If we can pop up Tudo right here. Tudo is the marketing lead generation software that we use to outbound text, email campaigns, funnels, and the voicemail drops. All the different things that it's literally one of the most powerful tools, and I would never promote something I don't truly believe in. It's one of the most powerful tools that exists, I believe, on the market right now for any business. It could really be applied to anything: real estate, mortgages, but insurance specifically. Everybody's your client. Every car you see on the road, every house, every business, every building, everything is your potential client, depending on what you're doing. So personal, commercial, life insurance, all those different things. Tudo is one of those, softwares and tools that's worth reinvesting into, and it'll 100x your communication and your activity. The cold calling, door knocking, like I said, do those things. It's really important to build up the thick skin, but this is just it's a cheat code. It's a cheat code in the business, and I highly recommend it. Definitely check it out if you're looking to reinvest and go into something that can really kind of help scale the business. You got to use the tool right, so make sure you know how to use it, how to get the data, how to import it, and use and contact the right people that you're looking for efficiently, and then keep that pipeline always filled. That's pretty much the gist of it, as activity and hard work and execution. So that's all I got. If you do get any value, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, all that fun stuff if you want. And then also check me out on Instagram, Chris the Insurance Guy. You can kind of see my life behind the insurance scenes. Most of the times I'm here in the office anyway, but you can see some of the stuff I do outside of the office and the mindset and the kind of activity day to day, what it looks like to build up a business 0 to $2 million in 3 years, and further and beyond, which is where we're headed. So that's all I got. Really appreciate you guys. We'll see you at the top and see you guys soon. Peace.